Hey, how's it going? So, I'm here to do a quick little series of tutorials aimed at helping you get started on scripting if you're a media professional. The goal is for this to be available for anyone that doesn't necessarily come from a coding background, and for it to really target the types of things you might want to do if you're involved in the process of making videos or 3D models or photos, the types of things you have to do if you're kind of on the media rather than the code side of things. And so it's going to teach you how to make some simple scripts, JavaScript scripts, and I'll explain kind of why we're going to go there, and then how to kind of use them for some very standard tasks that you're going to have to accomplish as a media producer. Why even bother scripting if you're a media professional? Well, there are a lot of things you have to do repeatedly and repetitively. Things like renaming files, transcoding files, backing up video, uploading files to the cloud somewhere or to clients, tracking all of those things you've done, all the files you've created, all the places you've moved them, maybe even tracking those renaming operations so that if some editor's still working with the file in its original name, you know how to reconnect it to the new file. You might want to sometimes interact with non-editors, allow them to make decisions that you feed into your system somehow. And you might want to send notifications to some kind of automated task management system you have, or to Slack or to email. There are all sorts of different reasons you might want to automate some of the processes in your workflow. And so in the past, a lot of folks in the media professional space have used things like Automator if you're on a Mac, Apple Script, or shell scripts, using Bash scripts if you're on a Mac in the old days. And there still are a lot of these scripts floating around for renaming files. And it's still a great way of doing things. This tutorial series is going to focus instead of that, though, on using JavaScript, specifically Node.js and everything that goes along with it, to write these scripts. Just because, well, for a few reasons. One is that there's just such a gigantic community of people writing JavaScript these days that very frequently most of your work has been done for you already. Or if it hasn't been done for you already, a lot of your questions can get answered by this giant community of JavaScript developers, or in a lot of cases they might have been answered already. If you just search your question online, you can very frequently find an answer on Stack Overflow or somewhere. And so it's really, there's a lot of power there, a lot of packages that already exist that you can just import and then use, and again, a lot of people out there that can help you out. And so it's just more powerful as a tool these days. And then the other cool thing is if you use it for this task of scripting, you're learning all of these really cool transferable JavaScript skills that you can use for everything else that JavaScript can do. So you can ultimately build web apps and things like that if you want to, if that's something that you become interested in. And so that's anyway the reason that this series of tutorials is going to focus on scripting using JS.